What's up? It's Visions of Austin 2010, and I decided to do another updated collection video. This time is Game Boy Color. Now, I've only gotten like one new game since the last one I did, which was all the way back in January. And yeah, one of my most recent games is coming at the very end of the Game Boy Color collection, which you'll see later on. And yeah, that's about it. But other than that, not much has changed for the this collection because I don't own a lot of games for the Game Boy Color, unfortunately, along with the OG Game Boy, DS, and 3DS, because I'm not technically a handheld person than a console person. I'm more of a console person than a handheld person, but it is what it is. So let's just go ahead and get started. So here is the Game Boy Color. This is my Atomic Purple one. I showed you this in my OG Game Boy collection, which if you haven't seen that video, go ahead and check it out. So yeah, this is the Atomic Purple one. I got this for 85 bucks in the summer of 2022, and it still works perfectly fine. There are no issues with it whatsoever. So yeah, there's that. I'll just put that to the side, and now let's go over to my 6 Game Boy Color games. So let's get started. So first up, I got Tetris DX. I got this with the Atomic Purple Game Boy Color, and it was only 15 bucks because it's the color version of the original Tetris game that came out for the OG Game Boy. And yeah, and I actually do have the original game. If you've seen my OG Game Boy collection video, like not too long ago. So yeah, here's Tetris DX. Great game. I recommend it. It's pretty good. Puzzle game. Next up is Game & Watch Gallery 2. I've ordered this game off of Amazon because this is like it was like very, very cheap, so why not? I don't remember like playing this game on the 3DS Virtual Console. Maybe I did. I don't remember because my 3DS was working before stopped working 2 months later. I actually ordered this back in August of 2022 off of Amazon for really, really cheap, so I had to get it. Game & Watch Gallery 3, which I've got for really, really cheap. I actually played this before Game & Watch Gallery 2. And the Game & Watch games are really fun to play. Yeah, what these Game & Watch games do is you have to let me start over. What these Game & Watch Gallery games are is basically you have to play the classic Game & Watch games, which were on the Game & Watch, and you have to play the modern Game & Watch Gallery games. It's kind of like with Sonic Generations, where you play as classic Sonic and modern Sonic, and the classic Sonic stages and the modern Sonic stages, which was like really, really interesting. But Game & Watch Gallery 3, great. Next up is Donkey Kong Country. This is the not for resale edition. I do not remember if this game came patched with the Game Boy Color or it was just put there for some reason. I don't know why they put this not for resale sticker on there. And same thing with Mario Tennis and a bunch of other Game Boy Color games that has the not for resale sticker. I don't know why. But Donkey Kong Country, I never played the SNES version of this, along with the sequels of the games, along with the Game Boy Advance versions of those games, which were like remakes of the Donkey Kong games, Donkey Kong Country games. But Donkey Kong Country, it's fun. So yeah, there's not really much to say about the Game Boy Color version. Next up is Mario Tennis, which is like one of the last Game Boy Color games I actually got in a while. And Yeah, this is like one of my last Game Boy Color games I ever, got. And then after that, I stopped, buying Game Boy Color games ever since. Until February of this year. But Mario Tennis, great. I need to try Mario Golf on the Game Boy Color game, and I haven't picked it up either. I think I saw it once at McKay's, but then I passed on it. And I think I saw Wario Land 3 on there as well, but I also passed on that. So I'll probably get those games eventually. I don't know when, but here's Mario Tennis. Really fun. And one of my most recent Game Boy Color games I got is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. Yes, this is one of my most recent Game Boy Color games I've got. And this is really good. I actually played Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 on PS1 and also the first game on PS1 as well, but I don't have it anymore in my collection, unfortunately. But I'll probably get that game back as well. And I'll probably try out the other versions that I've never played. Yeah, but Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, great game. Not as good as the console versions, however, but still a fun game. Well, that is it for my Game Boy Color collection. Updated, yeah, because why is it updated is because I got one new game, and it was this. So, I'll probably get more Game Boy Color games in the future, but we'll see about that. Yeah, hope you all enjoyed this. Make sure you like it. Comment down below what you think and subscribe and again, thank you guys, so much for 1,000 subscribers, because I hit 1,000 subscribers recently. But stay tuned for the 1,000 subscriber special coming soon, okay? Because I'm trying to think of what should I do for 1,000 subscribers, and once I figure it out, I'll probably do it. Yeah, I'll probably do it in the future. Anyways, yeah. Subscribe if you haven't already. Like this video and comment down below what you think of this. And anyways, peace out.